Modified sprints lined up their feature race, coming down round the Stadium Finance. Prison Bend will go green very shortly. 12 laps the distance for the feature race. It's Coxie that got the jump, but he has got Liam Astle breathing down his neck. Big charge down the back chute. Brett Booth making a big run around the top side. In the 34 car, can't make anything work of it, but Harry McIntyre, let's see if he can go 2 feature race wins in a row here for the weekend. McIntyre up there into third. Cox in the lead, but Cox just loses the setup 3/4 of the way through each of those corners. The car pushing on the entrance to the corners. That's going to slow him up somewhat. He'll still keep his foot hard in the bucket. Liam Astle hanging on to that second spot. Oh, here's a bit of a coming together. One up and over. May well be Clayton Phillips. There's the 44 of Tonkin, 25.
Yep, I think it is, AJ. Haven't seen him come round. Sophie Cribbs just coming through. So I haven't seen the 14 car.
The other car may well be the 42 of Kate Warren. Certainly appeared as though Phillips was carrying a whole lot more speed into that area of the racetrack than Kate Warren. Boy, more battered wings tonight than a box of KFC. The old local Scrappy will be doing well out of it.
So they'll get this cleaned up, and unfortunate for Clayton Phillips. He's a bit of a hard charge around here for the modified sprints for sure, but he's been battling with that setup all night actually, and it might have been a little bit of that and just getting it all wrong there. But we were watching Coxie before, and if you watch that car on the front, even though he's going quick, that car has got no setup, as you said before, AJ. The car has got understeer going into the corner, meaning it wants to go to the wall, and he's having to really brake hard to get some turn in. So we'll see if Coxie can hold on. The one thing we know for sure is he won't take his foot off the accelerator, and he'll try and drive around that problem. But a frustrating setup for 5C. The import parts sponsored modified sprint of Craig Cox.
Yeah, potentially that's going to play into the hands of Astle, because he knows that Cox at some point is going to drift out a little bit higher up the racetrack, creating the gap down low that Astle can grab. And, you know, Liam Astle, son of international cricket superstar Nathan Astle, who was also a pretty darn good modified sprint racer and then went sprint car racing as well. And young Liam showing plenty of talent. Took out the Clay Cup earlier this season, and man, there's some people that have tried for a number of years to get on the podium.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, look, don't tell Nathan, but I reckon Liam's a better driver.
No, I'll tell him. I absolutely think this kid's just got so much talent.
Raw ability in the young 18-year-old Liam Astle. So we'll be watching out, and tricky to see if Coxie can defend that position. A very, very difficult drive ahead of him.
Yeah,
so
I actually think that, you know, like you talk about the younger drivers and that. Nathan started his career pretty late, you know, like he was an international cricketing superstar. And I remember one of my trips over to the States, we pulled into a hotel to stay in for the accommodation, and the Indian chap behind the counter said, "Oh, Christchurch, New Zealand, do you play cricket?" I said, "No, I don't play cricket," but I said, "Nathan Astle races at our speedway," and this guy in the middle of Indiana knew all about Nathan Astle and his cricket. It was mind-blowing, and I'm trying to talk speedway racing. Yeah, there was a one-track mind, you could say. Yeah, the Clayton Phillips car looking somewhat second-hand. I would suspect that a number of these drivers with the damage in that, yeah, the cars are just going to get pushed in the shed, and And
Yeah.
let's let winter set in. Okay, should be good to go very shortly in this, the modified sprint feature race. What have we got to go? Midget feature race, fireworks and sprint car Gold Cup. Maybe we could get Warwick's last job could be going and unscrewing one of those orange lights to short circuit the system.
Well, I tell you what, just looking at this lineup here, this is going to be an interesting restart, folks, and we try to see the positive in everything here. Liam Astle, can he make a move on Coxie, who has to try and defend with a car that is just not handling? Let's see how this is going to play out. My money's on Liam Astle to make a pass underneath, and let's go to you, AJ, for the call.
Yeah, thanks, Craig. I think that one will be paying short odds. Coxie, he is going to keep his foot hard up it. Boys carrying some wick there in the 5 car. It's Craig Cox leading the way. Liam Astle in that second position. Harry McIntyre in third. Brett Booth in the 34 car sitting there in fourth spot. But no show without punch, because the 11 of Courtney Jones is starting to close in on the front runners. It's still Craig Cox leading the way. There goes that handling issue, and Astle tries to subtly move him across the racetrack. He just needs to sit and wait, but Harry McIntyre might have something to say about that. Why those two are going like cats and dogs at each other. Craig Cox, he's trying absolutely everything he can to keep the forward momentum going in that machine. He's actually got a little bit of a break on them, and that's going to play into his hands, because, you know, he can sort of have that handling issue and drive his way out of it. Astle getting closer to the tail of the import parts, number 5, driven by Craig Cox. Oh boy, it was all over the shop that time. Astle has another look at the gap. The gap closes. What a battle royal we've got going on at the front of the field. Coxie's having to jam on the brakes to try and slow the thing up a little bit. They're like ducks and drakes out there. Modified sprint feature race. 3 laps to go next time across the NPD 100% fuel start finish line, and it's Craig Cox defying the odds at this stage with an ill-handling car, but boy is he doing it well. Big battle going on between Harry McIntyre in the 47 and the 8 of Astle. Astle, he's got the impetus in this one right now. Lap traffic just coming up. That's the 44 car of Shane Tonkin. He's right in the thick of the action there. They're closing up on him. White flag comes out next time. Things may be coming right for Cox. Yeah, white flag, just one more lap. It is a game of survival for Craig Cox. Liam Astle, boy, he's thrown everything at it, including the kitchen sink, but it just hasn't rolled his way. Harry McIntyre, he's going to join the fun, the run for the line. Craig Cox is going to defy the odds and take the win. In second spot, we're going to have Liam Astle, Harry McIntyre in third. Then we go back to Brett Booth in the 4th position. Well, there you go. Always willing to push it over the edge. Craig Cox, the winner of tonight's modified sprint feature. And that showed what sort of experts we are, Craig. He was supposed to have been passed on the 3rd lap.
Yeah, good on you, Coxie. An absolute genius drive with a car that just would not handle into the corners. And it was Liam Astle and Harry McIntyre going hammer and tongs in behind and allowing you just the breathing space that you needed, mate, to keep the modified sprint going. So import parts specialist car of Craig Cox making his way into victory lane. Congratulations, mate. It was a great win by you.